October 3rd, 1942. A blinding flash tore across the sky above Peenemünde, Germany. The V-2 rocket, a 14-ton projectile powered by liquid fuel, screamed into the stratosphere and crashed into history. It was the first man-made object to reach the edge of space, launched not by a peaceful space agency, but by Nazi engineers under Adolf Hitler's command. Among those engineers stood Wernher von Braun, a young, brilliant scientist with a passion for space and a dark allegiance. The V-2 rocket would go on to rain destruction on London, Antwerp, and Paris, killing thousands. But after the war ended, these same men would be invited, secretly, quietly, into the heart of the United States military and scientific community, not as prisoners, but as partners. In 1945, as Nazi Germany collapsed, the Allies scrambled not just to divide the spoils, but to seize the minds behind Hitler's most terrifying machines. The Soviets were closing in from the east. The Americans moved fast. Under the shadow of night, they launched a classified intelligence program, Operation Paperclip. Its goal: extract top Nazi scientists before the Russians could reach them. Men who had built rockets, jet aircraft, nerve gas, and according to some, advanced technologies the world had never seen before. There were complications. Many of these men had deep ties to the Nazi regime. Some had designed weapons used in concentration camps. Others had sworn loyalty to Hitler. The American public would never accept such men being given safe haven. So, identities were scrubbed. Histories were rewritten. They were now simply experts. Wernher von Braun became the crown jewel of Operation Paperclip. The U.S. government erased his SS past and brought him to Fort Bliss, Texas. There, he and his team began rebuilding their dream. Not for the Führer, but for Uncle Sam. Von Braun's work helped shape the U.S. Army's Redstone rocket, the first missile capable of carrying a nuclear warhead. Later, he became a central figure in the creation of NASA. The Saturn V rocket, the machine that carried Apollo 11 to the moon, was his brainchild. To the public, he was now a hero. But in the shadows of history, questions lingered. What knowledge did von Braun bring from the Third Reich? Was it purely rocket science, or something else? Just as Nazi scientists began working in America, a strange phenomenon gripped the country. Between 1947 and the early 1950s, UFO sightings exploded across the United States. The Roswell incident, the Kenneth Arnold sighting, reports of disc-shaped craft moving with impossible speed. Air Force intelligence scrambled to investigate. Behind closed doors, Project Sign, and later Project Blue Book, compiled thousands of cases. Some researchers noticed a pattern. The descriptions of these objects often resembled diagrams found in recovered Nazi blueprints, schematics of the so-called Die Glocke, or the Bell, a rumored anti-gravity propulsion device being developed in Nazi-occupied Poland. Was it a coincidence? Or had Operation Paperclip brought more than just V-2 blueprints to American soil? Die Glocke, a bell-shaped metallic structure rumored to stand 9 feet tall and glow with a violet-blue light when activated. First whispered about in post-war intelligence leaks, Die Glocke was said to manipulate gravity and time itself. SS General Hans Kammler, known for overseeing secret weapons programs, was allegedly in charge of the project. But Kammler disappeared in the final days of the war. No grave, no confirmed death, just silence. Some believe the bell was transported, along with Kammler, to South America or the United States. In the absence of proof, conspiracy theories grew. Some claimed Die Glocke was a Nazi time machine. Others believed it was reverse-engineered alien technology. The line between fact and fiction began to blur. In Ohio, Wright-Patterson Air Force Base became the rumored site of extraterrestrial storage. Inside Hangar 18, it was said, lay the wreckage of crashed UFOs, alien bodies, and maybe even pieces of Die Glocke. While officials denied these stories, documents revealed something else. Many paperclip scientists were funneled through Wright-Patterson before being relocated to NASA in military labs. One of them, Dr. Hubertus Strughold, would become known as the father of space medicine. But before that, he had overseen human experimentation in Dachau concentration camp. The moral line blurred further. America's race for supremacy seemed willing to ignore the cost. In the realm of fringe theories, Antarctica plays a curious role. Declassified naval documents confirm a large U.S. expedition, Operation High Jump, was launched in 1946, just after the end of World War II. Officially, it was for research, but some believe it was a search mission for secret Nazi installations buried beneath the ice. Nazi Germany had established bases in Queen Maud Land, which they renamed Neuschwabenland. Some theorists claim this was the true home of advanced Nazi projects, like Die Glocke, developed in collaboration with extraterrestrials. These claims remain unsupported by hard evidence, but their persistence raises a question. Why did so many paperclip scientists end up working in classified aerospace programs once inside the U.S.? From von Braun to Kurt Debus and Arthur Rudolph, Operation Paperclip's alumni shaped America's military-industrial complex. Jet propulsion, ICBMs, advanced metallurgy, mind control studies. These programs exploded in the decades following World War II. Some former Nazi scientists worked with the CIA on MK-Ultra. Others contributed to early stealth technology and supersonic flight. It's difficult to separate myth from classified reality, but there's no question that without Paperclip, the arms race and perhaps the space race would have looked very different. The ethical cost of Operation Paperclip remains haunting. After the war, the Nuremberg trials condemned Nazi doctors and engineers for crimes against humanity. Yet some of those same individuals were granted asylum in the US, given new identities, and placed in positions of power. Documents uncovered in the 1970s confirmed the US government had knowingly lied to immigration officials, Congress, and even presidents to cover up these affiliations. Justice was postponed. Sometimes forever. In July 1969, as Neil Armstrong stepped onto the moon, the world watched in awe. But behind the triumph stood a lineage rooted in darker origins. The Saturn V rocket was born from V2 bones. Its creator, Wernher von Braun, had once overseen rocket production using slave labor from concentration camps like Mittelwerk Dora. Thousands had died building the Nazi dream of spaceflight. Now that dream wore the stars and stripes. Operation Paperclip succeeded in its mission. It helped win the Cold War. advance aerospace technology, and cement the US as a superpower. But it came at a cost, one that still haunts historians and ethicists. Did these scientists bring alien technology with them? There is no conclusive evidence. But their knowledge was far ahead of its time, whether it came from human experimentation, lost archives, or something not of this world, remains a topic of fierce debate. Much of Operation Paperclip remains buried beneath layers of classification. Files have been destroyed, sealed, or redacted beyond recognition. The true extent of what was brought to America may never be known. But one thing is certain: when the war ended, the battle for knowledge had only just begun. From the ashes of the Third Reich to the lunar surface and beyond, the legacy of Operation Paperclip is written not just in history books, but in the stars. You've just explored another mystery with JB Animated Mysteries. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And turn on notifications so you never miss a story where facts and fiction collide. Until next time, the truth is out there. Keep looking.